Week since 6 News exposed a dangerous eyesore, and our investigation got results.
The safety improvements come just before thousands of College World Series fans visit the Old Market area.
Mike McKnight has tonight's 6 on Your Side follow-up.
Old Market neighbors exposed a deep danger easily accessed by an unsecured gate last Monday.
We're getting out of here because this is hazardous.
But today, they've found their safety concern over the vacant Fairmont Creamery
absolutely more secure.
Has risen to the top of the owner's priorities.
Safety-wise, the improvement is huge, I think. You can't get through this gate that was swinging open last week.
The building door that had been forced open is now closed solid. And that sidewalk ravine that any transient or curious kid could have fallen in is now covered over by a hardwood platform.
I really believe that speaking up and speaking to the right people caused it to happen.
From newly boarded windows to recently placed city placards, the still deteriorated building shows signs of life-saving improvements. The property is not only safer, but the graffiti that has laced the building is either being removed or covered over. Omaha's Operation Wipeout has been eliminating graffiti that can be accessed on the ground level, either with power washing or white paint. Business neighbors like Aaron Wachevich of Hollywood Candy.
It looks a lot more safe, that's for sure.
Says the cavity in the sidewalk still needs filling, but a wood cover is a solid start.
I'm happy to see that there was some action taken, that the initial report brought some more eyes to the problem, and again, glad that nobody ended up getting hurt or anything did happen.
The current owner of the vacant Fairmont Creamery tells me more security is coming soon by adding lights that shine down to discourage graffiti vandals.
From a safety standpoint, it has improved tremendously. Aesthetically, it has a long way to go.
Neighbors say they're encouraged by safety improvements, but restoring the century-old creamery building will add more historic flavor to the south side of the Old Market. On Your Side near 12th and Jones, Mike McKnight, 6 News.
Omaha Superintendent of Inspections says our story prompted the safety changes. However, violations have been entered into the city database. A representative of the current owner, Seven Oaks Investments, told Mike that a potential buyer is doing his due diligence review of the property. She's confident the building will be sold this year.